Hi Tacoma, welcome back to TV Teaching for Kindergarten. Today is Thursday, October 15th, and I'm Mrs. Oslin. Before we get started, we're going to do a zones check. A zones check is where you think about what emotion you're feeling. Use this chart to help you. If you're not sure which emotion you're feeling, you can always ask the question, what is happening inside my brain? And think about, are you able to focus? You could also ask, what's happening with my body? Does my body feel comfortable and relaxed, but not too relaxed? Think about an I message. An I message is when you're able to express how you're feeling with someone else. An I message sounds like, I feel, because, Take some think time. Now I'm going to model using an I message with Mabel. Mabel, I feel distracted because I'm kind of hungry. Now kindergartners, it's your turn to use an I message to tell someone around you how you're feeling. I feel, because, Go ahead. We've been practicing showing gratitude this week. Gratitude is when you think about the things in your life that make you happy, the things that you're thankful for. And we do this, especially when we're not in the green zone, to help give us some perspective, help us think about something that is positive so that we can then get on with our learning. So think about, what are you thankful for? Now, I'm going to model using an I message again to share with Mabel what I'm thankful for. Mabel, I'm thankful that it's almost lunchtime because I'm hungry. Now, kindergartners, you practice sharing your I message, sharing what you're grateful for. Now that we have an attitude of gratitude, we can get started with our lesson. The materials that you will need for today's lesson are your learning buddy. I have Mabel. You might have another stuffed animal or a rock or your pet, or maybe there's a person in the room that can do some thinking and speaking with you today. You gather your learning buddy and meet me over at the screen. You'll remember that when we come together every day, we both have a job to do. My job is to be ready and prepared with a lesson, with a book, and questions to ask. Your job is to listen, share your thinking, and then read or write. Today, you're going to read. You are a strong listener when you keep your eyes on the teacher or the speaker, whoever is speaking. Right now it is the teacher. You're a strong listener when you listen to the books and the questions that I ask, and when you think about the words or the pictures in your book. You're a strong sharer when you share your thinking and ideas, when you talk about the book or the thinking that I'm asking you to do, and when you listen to your partner, if you have someone in front of you who's having a conversation with you, and take turns. Today we're going to continue learning the routines and procedures that support student talk of reading workshop. That's a lot of really big words, so let me break it down for you. When we have our thinking and our speaking and our listening routines and procedures, which means I'll have you think, then speak, then listen, it gets you as a student talking more during our reading and writing time, which makes it better able for you to write. Also, we're going to practice listening to our partner. If you have someone in the room with you that can be your partner, you're going to practice really listening to them share their ideas. If you don't have another person with you, I will be your partner. And we're going to practice listening to each other. It's important that we're able to listen to each other because other people around us have other ideas and perspectives that might help change my thinking and might help me grow as a reader and a writer. We are going to practice our routines and procedures, our speaking and listening and thinking skills in a new book today called We're Going on a Book Hunt. And this book is by Pat Miller. The pictures are by Nadine Bernard Westcott. Take a moment to think about what is happening in this picture. You might start your sentence with I think or I notice. Take some think time. Now, I'm going to model sharing my thinking with my partner, and Mabel is going to model being a strong listener. She's going to have her eyes on the speaker, which is me, and she's going to be still and quiet, and she's going to really listen to what I'm saying. And then she's going to think about whether she agrees with what I'm saying or if she disagrees or has different thinking. Mabel, I'm noticing that the animals on the cover of the book are going like this and kind of crouching down. And I think that means they're trying to be quiet. Now, kindergartners, you are going to share your thinking or your noticing either with your learning buddy or with me on the screen. And then if there is someone in the room with you, you're going to take turns. You're going to switch and then listen really closely. And remember, if you agree with your partner, you can just do one of these. If you disagree or have different thinking, you can do this. That's one of our routines and procedures. Go ahead, share your thinking. Now, if there's another person in the room with you, take turns. Now it's the other person's turn to share. Go ahead. Now, think about what the person said, or think about what I said if I'm your partner. Did you agree? If you did, do this. Do you disagree? If you did, do this. Let's continue reading this book, practicing, thinking and noticing, and speaking and listening. We're going on a book hunt. We're going on a book hunt. Today is library day. We're gonna find a good one. We know how. Not too easy, not too hard, but just right. Here it is, the library. Can't scream or run about, can't skip or yell and shout. We'll have to be considerate. Tip-toe, tip-toe, tip-toe. Welcome to the library. Now, kindergartners, I want you to do some thinking. Why is it important to be considerate? That means think about other people when you're at the library. Your sentence might start with, I think, Take some think time. Now, you're going to practice sharing your thinking with a partner or learning buddy. I will model first. Listen to what I'm saying, and if you agree, you're going to do this. If you disagree or have different thinking, you're You're going to do this. Here we go. I think it's important to be considerate or think about other people at the library because people are trying to read and concentrate. And if I'm really loud or running about, then they can't read or concentrate. Now, kindergartners, share your thinking with your partner. I think, I heard some of you have a different idea from me. Let's continue reading and thinking and sharing and listening. Here it is, the shelf marker. Can't look without it. Shows where the book fits. We'll have to slide the marker in. Slippy slide, slippy slide, slippy slide. We're going on a book hunt. We're gonna find a good one. We know how. Not too easy, not too hard, but just right. Here it is, a book. Can't tell from outside. Have to look inside. We have to see what size it is. Peek and turn. Peek and turn. Oh, here's this repeated part again. Will you try reading this with me? If you're able and you can safely stand up, go ahead. Now, we're going to read this together, and we're going to do my turn, then your turn. So I will say an act, and then I'll go like this, and that's your turn to say an act. And you're just going to repeat back what I said. Are you ready? Okay. We're going on a book hunt. We're going on a book hunt. We're going to find a good one. We're going to find a good one. We know how. We know how. Not too easy. Not too easy. Not too hard. Not too hard. But just right. But just right. Oh, thank you for sharing the reading with me, kindergartners. Go ahead and sit down. Here it is, the choosing part. Can't read a hard one. Don't want an easy one. We'll have to count our fingers. Miss a word, finger up, stop at 5. Now let's do some thinking here. I'm noticing that these characters are practicing picking out books. Books that aren't too easy, books that aren't too hard, but books that are just right. Now do some thinking. Why is it important to find a book that is just right for you? Take some think time. Your sentence might start with, I think, Go ahead. Now I'm going to model sharing my thinking with Mabel. And you are going to practice being a strong listener so you can decide if you agree or disagree with me. Mabel, I think it's important to pick a book that's just right for me so that I can practice reading for longer and longer periods of time. Because if a book is too hard or too easy, then I'm not going to want to read it for a long time. Now, kindergartners, you share your thinking about why it's important to pick a book that is just right for you. Your sentence might start with, I think. Go ahead. Oh, I heard a lot of you had the same idea. If you had the same idea as me, do this. If you had a different idea, you're going to do this. You'll remember that it's really important for us to listen to each other's ideas because if someone has a different idea than us, we're going to learn from them and learn from their perspective. Here it is, the perfect book. Can't be rough with it. Can't be tough with it. We'll have to treat it kindly. Cross and hug, cross and hug, cross and hug. Here comes this part again. Go ahead and stand up and do it with me. We're going on a book hunt. We're going on a book hunt. We're gonna find a good one. We're gonna find a good one. We know how. We know how. Not too easy. Not too easy. Not too hard. Not too hard. But just right. But just right. Thanks for sharing the reading with me, kindergartners. Here it is, the book check. Can't keep it always. Can keep it 2 weeks. We'll have to bring our book back. Beep, boop, beep. Beep, boop, beep. Boop, beep, boop. You'll notice in the picture, well, I want to see what you notice. So think, what do you notice is happening in the picture? Take some think time. I notice, Now, turn and tell your learning buddy what you notice, and then switch if there's someone in the room with you and think, do you have the same idea or a different noticing? Go ahead. You might have noticed that there is a librarian, I think it's a kangaroo, can't quite tell, but they have a little scanner. And I noticed that when I go to the librarian scans my books so that they can keep track of them. Did you have the same noticing or a different noticing? Let's keep reading. Ah, yes, it's the book hunt part again. Stand up and do it with me. Here we go. We're going on a book hunt. We're gonna find a good one. We know how. Not too easy. Not too hard. But just right. Here we are back in class. Can't wait to read the words. Can share it with our friends. We have to turn carefully at the corner, corner, corner. When we turn the pages of a book, it's important that we turn them from the corner, corner, corner. If we try to turn them from here, they might rip. So say it with me. At the corner, corner, corner. Good, strong listening, friends. Here we are. Our books are done. Time to take our books back. Time to choose some other ones. Tiptoe, 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 slippy slide, slippy slide, slippy slide. Peek and turn, peek and turn, peek and turn. Miss a word, finger up. Stop at 5. Cross and hug, cross and hug, cross and hug. Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep. At the corner, corner, corner. Strong listening, kindergartners. Okay, let's go on our book hunt together one last time. Here we go. We're going on a book hunt. We're going to find a good one. We know how. Not too easy. Not too hard. But just right. Yeah! Now, kindergartners, we practice doing some thinking, sharing, and listening so that we could learn from each other if you had a different idea, or listening if you had the same idea. This is something that you can continue to practice with the people who are around you wherever you are. You're going to go off to do your independent reading, practicing the 3 ways to read a book. Make sure that you're looking at the pictures, the words, and retelling the story, visualizing them in your mind, looking for words that begin with or things in the pictures that start with like Mabel. Okay, you're going to take your 5-minute break. Make sure you go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, and stretch your legs, because when you come back, Mrs. Wally will be here for math. Thanks so much, kindergartners. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Welcome back, kindergartners. I hope you had a great break. Today, what you're going to need is your whiteboard and a marker, some counters, and your learning buddy. So make sure you have those things ready. I heard you did great book hunting with Ms. Oslin earlier. Nice work. Now we're going to work on numbers. How many red dots do you see? 1? How did you know it was 1? Oh, I heard someone say, I pointed and counted 1. What's another way you could know it was 1? Mabel, what was that? I'm going to use those listening skills. I'm going to listen to Mabel. Oh, Mabel said, I know from before that there's 5 boxes, and I see 4 empty boxes, so that means there's only 1. Great thinking, Mabel. Let's look at the next one and see if we can figure out how many do we see. How many do you see? Oh, I hear 2 and I hear 3. How do you see it? How do you know? Let's use Mabel's idea. If there are 5 boxes and 2 are empty, how many are in the box? 3. Let's count and check. 1, 2, 3. I'll make this nice and big. 3. How many of you just knew it was 3? Excellent job. We know it's 3 because 2 and 3 make 5. There are 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If 2 are empty, then 3 are full. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's use that same thinking. We said we know there are 5 boxes. And we said if 2 are empty, 3 are full. But now it's switched. 3 are empty, so how many are full? If 3 are empty, how many are full? 2. How many red dots? 2. Nice thinking, kindergartners. Let's count and check. This time I'm going to put a line through it. 1, 2. We touch and count each object. Nice job. Oh, how many are missing? We're just missing 1. If there are 5 boxes and we're only missing 1, how many red dots are there? You think there's 4? How do you know that there's 4? You know because 4 and 1 empty one equals 5 boxes? Does anyone see it differently? How do you see it? Should we ask Pebble? Pebble, how do you see it? Pebble says, I see 3 and 1 more. And he says, watch. 3, 4. So there's 4. Is that what you were thinking? Nice job. Oh, wait a minute. What do you notice about this one? Should we go back to the other one? Oh. What happened? Yeah, it's like they flipped it around. So how many do you see? You see 4 still? You see 3 and 1? Ooh, great thinking. How else do you know that it's 4? Because 4 and 1 makes 5, and there's 4 dots and 1 empty box, and that makes 5. Great thinking, kindergartners. Shall we touch and count to check? I think that's a great idea. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was our thinking correct? Do you remember how to make a 4? Can you tell me and I'm going to do it? I'm going to listen really closely. Okay, you tell me. Little line down, little line over, big line down. Now it's time to go to my whiteboard and get out your counters. As you're organizing your things, I would like you to count out 4 counters for me. Are you ready? If you have someone at your home watching, you can have them check your thinking. I also want you to put a line right down the middle of your board. I want you to count out 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice job. Can you write the number 4 for me on top? Little line down, little line over, big line down. Great. Now, Mr. Kevin, we just need to see my whiteboard for this. So our cameraman, Mr. Kevin, he's going to just put up the whiteboard because I'm not going to do anything on the slide, but it has my directions on it. Perfect. Okay. How many counters are we starting with here? 4. I want you to pick them up again. And as you count them and put them down, I want you to notice what's happening to the amount of counters in this spot. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. What did you notice was happening with our counters when we counted to 4? What was happening? I'm going to do it again. Watch. There's nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. What happened with our counters? Oh, there weren't any, and when we were done counting, there were lots? Yeah. Watch again, as I count each one, how many more are added? 1. I'm going to say the next number. What's the next number? 2. I added another one. 3. I added another one. What do you think is going to happen when I say 4? I'm going to add one more. Every time I count the next number, we add one more counter. Now, reset your boards. I want you to build this many counters. Okay, let's build it. Let's try and see. When I say the next number and I count, do I put one more down? So we have 0 right now. 1, we put one more down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Did it happen? Each time we said the next number, we put one more counter down. And now altogether we have 5. Wow, kindergartners, great thinking. Now, let me erase this 5. What if you moved one of the counters over into this box? Would you have more counters in this box or less? Let's find out. You ready? Take a counter. Ooh, make it hop over to here. Now how many counters do we have? 4 and 1. Altogether, though, we still have 5 counters. Okay, let's move another one. Are you ready? Make it hop. Pew! Do our numbers match our counters? Check. Count your counters. Do your numbers match? They don't. What should we do? We should change them to match. How many do you have on this side? 1, 2, 3. Do you remember how to write the number 3? We've been practicing all week. Little curve, little curve. Excellent. Now let's look over here. My number is the number 1, but my counters show 2. What should I do? Change my number. Do you remember how to write a 2? Big curve, little line. Excellent. Okay, what do you think we're going to do? Are you ready? Grab a counter. Check. Do your numbers match your counters? 1, 2. That's not a 2, that's a 3. Better change it. 1, count with me. 1, 2, 3. Better change it. Do you remember how to write a 3? Start at the top, little curve, little curve. Very good. Okay, let's make it hop. Are you ready? You go ahead, you count and check and make sure your numbers match the quantity. That means how many there are. Okay, I'm going to do this side. It's not 2, it's just 1. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's 1 more than 3. Okay, last one. Here we go. Oh. Pebble, we learned about this yesterday, but I kind of am forgetting. There's nothing there. So there's not 1. So it can't be 1. What is it? What is it that I write when there means there's nothing? Do you remember for kindergartners? I almost called you first graders. Do you remember? Yes! It's a 0. 0 means nothing. Let's check this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Better change my number. You write your 5 and then check with mine and see if it matches. Little line down, little curve, line on top. All right. Reset your board and we're going to go to the next slide. Kevin, we will need the next slide up. He's the greatest cameraman there ever was. It's true. So here we go. I'm going to walk over to the smartboard. As I'm walking over to the smartboard, I want you to draw 4 cakes. It might look like this. They don't need to look fancy. We're just going to make some circles and pretend they're cakes. Okay? Actually, I'm going to stay here. We'll do it together. So I'm going to make 1 cake, 2 cakes, 3 cakes, and I'm going to put the 4th cake right here. And underneath there are some numbers. So let's put those numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move that up so you can see it. Sometimes we have to revise our thinking, and that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as we do these cakes, I want you to think about when we go up in number, how do the candles change? So for 1 cake, how many candles? 1 candle. Now, I need to do 2 candles. 1, 2. What happened from 1 to 2? Private think time. Oh, we added 1 more. Just like when we were counting our puffballs, the next number was 1 more. I wonder if we could say that every time you go up 1 number, you add 1 more. Let's try. We're going to go from 2 to 3. So let's draw our 2. 1, 2, 3. Did we add 1 more? We went up 1 number. 1, 2, 3, 4. We were on 2. We went up 1 number. And we added 1 more. So every time you go up a number, it goes up by one more. Let's try it again. We were at 3, so let's do our 3 candles. 1, 2, 3. Now I need to get to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I went up one number, and I just added one more. Excellent work, kindergarten friends. Now, I was at 0, and I went to 1. There was nothing, and then there was 1. Then I went from 1 to 2. I added one more. Can you show me with your counters or with a drawing what happens when you go from 2 to 3? I was at 0. I put one more. Then I was at 1. I was at 1. Then I went to 2. I put one more, and I was at 2. I was at 2. And I went to 3. And I put one more. 1, 2, 3. Excellent work, kindergartners. Meet me over at the smartboard. Your assignment today is to practice doing the adding one more. Here's a plate with 3 on it. They have a sample of 3 circles. Think, if I'm going to draw 4, I start with 3 and I add one more. So you're going to practice 4 and 5. And then there's directions down here, and it says, read the numbers together. Then you're going to color that number of squares, and notice how many more do you color each time. Okay? Meet me on up front at the carpet, and we're going to do some counting together. Okay. Oh, I love counting with you guys. It's one of my favorite parts of my day. So let's see. Yesterday we counted to 100 by 10 and 50 by 1s. What do you think? What should we do today? Do you want to count by 10s again? Okay, get ready. Get your 10 fingers ready. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Is it 10? No, that's not. Mabel, that doesn't sound right, does it? No. Mabel, where are you? Oh, Mabel's, you can't see Mabel. Mabel is right behind me. Mabel's hiding. But Mabel said, no, Mrs. Wally, that did not sound right. 10 is not a number. Let's try again. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Yes, that's right. 100. Wow. Excellent job, kindergartners. Now is the time. Normally I come up to the front camera, but I'm already here in front of the camera, so I'm just going to stay right here. And now is our time for our affirmation. And this week, and for today on Thursday, I wanted to talk about feeling like you belong. Sometimes it feels really lonely or like you don't belong. But friends, you do belong. You belong in lots of places. Lots of people love you and care about you. You belong here with us on our classroom TV. I am so glad all of you are here with us. So you belong here with us. You belong in your home with your family and with your friends. And you belong in your classroom at school too. They really care about you there too. So our affirmation is I belong. I'm going to try it and then you're going to copy. Are you ready? I belong. Your turn. Excellent job, kindergartners. We will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Hey kids, we want to see your work. Just send your pictures and your stories to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.